This is the next video in a historic ordnance series, and this is actually going to be a first for me. This is the first actual CHICOM or Chinese government produced mine in the series. I've mentioned other mines that the Chinese copied to their own versions, but this is their own in-house manufactured and designed mine that I'm covering. What you are seeing is a Type-72 non-metallic anti-personnel mine. Now this mine is a series. There are 3 different variants, the A, B, and C. They all look the same from the outside. The only difference is here, the safety pins. The A, which is just a plain anti-personnel mine, a plain pressure blast mine, has a round pull ring on the pin. The B, which has an internal anti-handling device, has a triangular pull ring on the pin. The C, which has an internal self-destruct mechanism and anti-handling device, has a square ring at the end of the pin. Now these mines officially are only being produced in China, but the South Africans did produce their own unlicensed copy of them and did employ them likely during the Bush Wars. Now going by the year, we can guess that these entered service around 1972. These mines have been encountered in Cambodia, Iraq, Kuwait, Peru in South America, and all across Africa. Some of the details, the technicals on these mines, they are 1.5 inches in height, 3 inches in diameter. Weight is 5 ounces, of which the explosive is 1 3/4 ounces of TNT. It requires a downward pressure of 11 to 22 pounds to set off this mine. The casings on them are made completely out of plastic and rubber. The only metal inside is an extremely thin spring and also the firing pin. These mines are damn near impossible to find with current mine detection technology. And reportedly, the C model and the B model can be influenced by the magnets inside current mine detectors and set the mine off. That's a warning from deminers. They've had big issues with that one. Now the body, for the most part, as you can see, is plastic. The very top of the pressure plate here is a rubber cap, which is attached to the plastic. Now, putting these into operation is the exact same for all 3 variants, but what happens internally is a little bit different for each. Now, down here we got a technical drawing. You can see the safety pin here. On the top plate, there are 3 notches on it, and on the body of the mine below it, there is a single notch. That's very important. Now, first off, for putting it in place, you're going to inspect it, make sure it is not damaged, make sure the safety pin is still in place. Inspect the booster well underneath, that there's no garbage inside. Move to the place where you're going to emplace the mine. If you're going to bury it, you're going to bury it up to right below the rubber cap here. That's the depth that's supposed to be in the ground. That's how deep you're going to make your hole. You will remove the shipping plug from the bottom. Now this point, I'm kind of conflicted. I do not know if the booster is separate, put inside, and then you put the plug in place, Or is there a separate booster plug that you remove the transport plug here and then screw the booster plug with the booster on it in its place? I'm not sure on that. But you install the booster at that point and make sure everything is snugged up good. Get down to where you're going to put the mine. You're then going to remove the safety pin. At that point, the arming process is beginning. It has not fully kicked in yet. You're going to rotate the top plate here till the bottom notch on the bottom here centers on the 3 notches here. So the single notch on the bottom has to line up perfectly with the center notch of the 3 from the top plate. At that point, the mine is armed and ready to go. You just go through and camouflage. Now with the B and C models, reportedly after you set the notches here so it lines up on the B, that's when internally the electronics are starting to kick in, and after so many seconds it should be armed. I do not have the specifics on that. No one has encountered the instructional materials to know for sure what the time limit is. Now on the C model, reportedly there are 3 positions for self-destruct time, and the theory could be each one of these notches is a different time, and you line it up with the notch you want for the appropriate time after pulling the pin. Then internally she starts the timer, starts arming the mine. These mines cannot be removed at any time regardless of model. They must be destroyed. This B and C models, apparently the anti-handling device inside will detonate with as little movement as 10 degrees. And you cannot tell the difference as to which mine is in the ground. So destroy in place. Do not attempt to recover. There you go. That's all the info I have on the Chi-Com Type-72 non-metallic anti-personnel mine. Now, for all my engineer brothers in the Patriot and militia movements, always remember, essay ons.